This is What's Grief Amongst Friends, a podcast.
Good evening. It's always nice when we have people who are interested in coming and sharing their experiences with us regarding the grieving process. But also, it's nice when we have people who come in and collaborate with us. Today, I am so happy to be able to welcome Jesse Bob Williams III, who has come to us to share with us about his upcoming podcast. And we're just going to have a conversation with each other about what it is that I'm doing with my podcast, what it is he's doing with his podcast, and hopefully you all will enjoy this and it'll resonate with someone. And if it doesn't inspire them to start their own podcast, maybe it'll start a communication between some of us and we'll make lifelong friends. Okay? Well, today we're welcoming Jesse Williams III. This is What's Grief Amongst Friends. Hi, Jesse.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm well,
right,
thanks for
all right.
asking. Today, What's Grief Amongst Friends is dealing with going through the grieving process after losing either a loved one or a very important part of your life. It could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a pet, it could be anything that has hit you really hard and you're having trouble dealing with getting through that coping process. Now, Jesse is going to introduce his upcoming podcast and explain to you what that is about.
Yes, so I have a podcast. It's called Life as I See It. It's not based on one topic. We're pretty much going to be talking about everything from sports to entertainment to clothes to, the health field, the mental health field. I'm a big mental health advocate, so we're going to talk about that as well. I know a lot of people that are nurses and that's involved with the health field as well. So that as well. I'm also big in the sickle cell world. I am a sickle cell patient. So I will be having a few people on there talking about sickle cell and how we can help, bring the awareness to another level in Springfield, and not just Springfield on a worldly level, because it's lacking in a lot of, cities and countries. So we're going to be talking about everything. I'm going to have different guests, on different days, and we're just going to be talking about everything,
So you did mention earlier to me that you'll be talking about things like sports and health issues and just mainly things that we deal with while going through life.
Yes.
So since you had brought up sports to me, what is your favorite sport?
Basketball. I played some football in middle school. Got some trophies and stuff, but I never was really, really big into it. Basketball always been my favorite sport. Even though I never played for any teams either in high school, I always had a job since my freshman year all the way up to senior year, and that was more important to me. But basketball has always been my sport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite basketball team?
No, not really. I used to like the Bulls when Derrick Rose was playing. That was my favorite player. More players nowadays. Kevin Durant, Giannis plays for the Bucks. Not really a team,
Mm-hmm.
I my friends cracked on me for a lot of years because of that. Like, you don't even have a team. You go from team to team. So yeah, I never really had a team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, health-wise, you mentioned that you're part of the sickle cell world, and what is your experience, if you don't mind sharing? What are some things that you've experienced being part of that community?
So I'll explain how how it works, kind of. My parents, my mom, my dad, they have the traits. And I'm the second child of 3, and I ended up with the whole full-blown disease. And that's pretty much how it works. I can't get into percentages and all that, but that's pretty much how it works. Both my parents had the traits, and I ended up with the full-blown disease. I had it since birth. It's just a real chronic pain throughout your whole body. Acute chest syndrome, your back, your legs, your arms. It's a real chronic pain. What happens is our blood cells, they bend, and that's where they get the sickle from. The word sickle from, they bend and cause a blockage. And that's where our pain comes from. That's why we're prone to like a lot of blood clots, I just fought 3 blood clots myself. So we're prone to getting a lot of blood clots and just a lot of chronic pain throughout our whole body, and it's something I can't really explain the pain. It's unbearable. It's not like a regular backache or a headache, or it's unbearable. A deep, sharp, aching pain. And it's and I've been dealing with that 33 years of my life. Now that I'm older, I know more about it. I'm healthier. I do what I'm supposed to do. I'm not sick too often, but it still does happen, especially in the winter time, and from the winter changing into the spring. So, yeah.
Well, we had the misfortune, but fortune of being roommates last year.
Yes.
Right around this time,
Yes.
Noah and I were in a hospital room. Lo and behold, someone gets wheeled into the room and he says, Auntie Marsha. And it's Jesse Bob. So we shared a room for a little while. Actually, because of Jesse Bob, and I'm going to put you out there right now, because of Jesse Bob, he witnessed what we were going through when they were trying to send Noah home and when they were evaluating him. And Jesse Bob says, Auntie Marsha, that's not what they did. That's not what they said. I wouldn't let them get away with that. And because of him, and it's so funny because you don't really utilize the opportunities to give someone their flowers or their props and whatnot. But I definitely want to say to him right here, right now, today, thank you so much for speaking up. You didn't have to. No. You didn't have to, but you spoke up and you said, no, that's not what happened. Yeah. And I appreciate it so much because of you. I went on the rampage of reaching out to everybody in order for them to call in, and it worked.
And it's so ironic because that floor, I've been going on my late teens, early 20s, and they know me like the back of their hand. I call someone from my mom. And so it's kind of ironic how that even happened. I love that floor. Every time I'm getting in bed, I'm like, bring me to oncology. Because sickle cell and cancer, it's kind of the same oncology, hematology. So we usually get sent on to that floor because of, the nurses are used to dealing with pain management and stuff like that. So, I was there the whole time. Like she said, he family. They're family. So I looked out any way I could.
Yeah.
I remember, they wanted to take him down to, I don't know if it was like a CAT scan or something like that. I'm not sure. And they were trying to explain to him what they were going to do and how they were going to give him some pain medicine so he could, kind of relax. And he really didn't, understand what they were saying. So I got up and said, no, they're just going to give you a little bit of medicine, And I remember him just breaking down crying. I felt so bad because I know all this was just so new to him. So I gave him, his time and stuff like that. But once he, cheered up, he got back and said, just thank you, man. I'm like, that's your family, bro. So, but like I said, that I love that floor, and it's ironic how that happened, but I was like, no. Don't
That's what he said. He said, no. He said, no. He said, Auntie Marsha, that's not what they said. That's not what they did. So I appreciate it so, so much. And that just goes to show you that you can step into a role without meaning to, but it's beneficial, it's helpful to the person that you're helping out in that particular situation. And when you love someone, they called him Uncle Noah, but Jesse and I were the ones with the relationship. And he was like, you're not putting my auntie through that mess, and I appreciate it so much.
My 33 years of living, sickle cell patients, we always got the lowest tier of treatment in the hospital because of the medicine we get to help us out. So we got looked at as seekers for so long. It'll be times where I'm 28, 29, a grown man, and I'll still be like, Mom, come with me, because I know they're gonna, So just when it comes to care, and I don't want to make this a race thing, but just when it comes to care to sickle cell patients, just Black people, period.
And we're the majority of the sickle cell patients.
Being Black, I just no. It, color shouldn't matter, disease shouldn't matter. We all should get the top notch, care. So when I heard, I'm like, no, don't do that. So,
I appreciate it.
No problem.
So, also, you're going to be delving into what it's like to be your age, what it's like to maneuver in this thing called life. What are some of the issues that you're going to be talking about?
These past 2 years, I've been dealing with like a lot of depression and anxiety. I didn't even know what depression and anxiety was until I went and got therapy for it. We would say I'm depressed or I'm dealing with anxiety. And I would say that a lot, but I really never knew what the true definition of depression and anxiety was until I went and got help.
Mm-hmm.
And, August of 2023, I checked myself into a mental health facility in Ephrata, Pennsylvania. I was going through a lot. I texted my family one day after church, said we need to have a meeting. Told them, I said, I'm going through some stuff. I was crying like literally every day after work, coming home, closing my blackout curtains and just start crying. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
I texted my family one day after church, said, hey, we need to have a meeting. We go ahead and meeting. I said, I want to go somewhere and get help, somewhere away from Springfield, and I want to go now. And they were all, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Literally the next day, me and my dad was on the highway. I was looking up places that whole night online, checking the reviews, checking out the pictures, because I'm going to get help, but I'm a little bougie. So I wanted to be a nice place. I wanted to, I wanted to look at the rooms, the bathrooms, the food, everything. So I was looking at the reviews, and I'm like, well, this place isn't too far, 4 hours away. Called them. They said, we're a 24-hour place. Come in whenever you're ready. We went and drove, and I went and got help. But to get back to the story, one day in therapy, she was like, there's 9 symptoms of depression. Wrote them down and said, which ones are you? And I was like, all of them. And that's my first time ever knowing really what depression was and what the symptoms were. And that's pretty much what I've been dealing with these past 2.5, 3 years is anxiety and depression, and helping people get into therapy and getting, just being more vulnerable and talking about their issues, because Black men, and not just men, I don't want to just single out men and Black men, but men and women, period, we need it. Growing up, I never knew what therapy was or anything like that. So right now, I'm just trying to, push that narrative that, hey, it's not a bad idea to get help and get therapy and be vulnerable and, talk about your issues. And it's helped me a whole lot. I think if I never went to that program, I don't know where I'll be right now.
Right.
So that's pretty much what I've been diving into these past few years. My dad's a reverend. He has a church, and I've been having men's mental health forums at these churches. And I'll bring in like 3 key speakers that's in the mental health field. They'll come speak, give their story, give resources. I'll let the people in the crowd speak as well. And we all eat after and, connect after, and I just keep going,
Well, I like the fact, because I was going to bring it up anyway, but I like the fact that you said your father is a reverend of a church. Well, he's a pastor. He leads a church. He has a whole congregation. And he's a pastor of a church, which that he believes in God. That he believes in Christ because he's a pastor of a church. He's a man of the word. And he, being a father, seeing his child in need, had the audacity, the gumption, the pure braveness to hear his child out and to say, where are we going? Where are we going? It didn't stop him from praying. It didn't stop him from petitioning God. It didn't stop him from acknowledging all the blessings that they have been receiving throughout Jesse's life. But he said, God, lead me. And God told him to get up and bring his child to get help. And that is so awesome. And it takes you a step beyond, you have this belief, but you also have to trust that God's going to lead you in the direction that you need to go. And I just love him for being that parent.
He told me, son, I don't care if you wanted to go to LA. I would have drove you. Like literally. My dad, he drove trucks his whole life, 18-wheelers, some cross country. So he was like, I didn't care if you wanted to go to LA. I was going to take you there, drive you there. Like, I didn't care. So, and then another thing I love my pops for saying is, growing up, we've had people that's in the church who feel like they know everything, got the answer to everything. And my dad said to me, like, bro, just because I'm a reverend, I don't got the answer to everything. I don't. So, and
if he did, he'd be God, right?
Exactly.
He's not. He's humble enough to know, I know my limitations.
Yeah.
So, I know but he's also got his ear listening to the Holy Spirit to lead him to do what needs to be done when it needs to be done. So that's just freaking. I mean, that's awesome.
No, it is. Yeah, like I just my dad is my boy. Like we it was an awkward trip. You know, we talked a little bit, then we didn't, and then you know, an hour away, I just started crying more as we got closer, and then you know. My dad's a big tough dude. I never seen my dad cry. When I got home, my mom was like, "We all cried when you left." Like literally, all of us. Like we all were just like miserable. And my mom kind of took it. She agreed with it, but she kind of took it the hardest because I'm a baby. And I remember when we left, I had forgot something. We came back, and I had to go in my room, and she was in my room on my bed crying. And I was like, "Ma, I'll be back, Ma." Like she just. You know, because sometimes parents they think it's their fault. You know, she started to ask like, "What did you want? Like, what do you want? You know, do we do anything? Do you want a new room or something?" Like, "Ma, it's really not you. It's not y'all. It's me. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time." So, parents, you know, always don't think it's you. You know, we go through our things too. We're grown men now, so and grown ladies as well. So, you know, I just had to let them know it's not you guys. Trust me, you guys are perfect. So, yeah.
Well, you know, one thing I want to definitely thank you for is your vulnerability, because you are just like putting it out there, and I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Mental health portion and the medical condition and whatnot. That is a lot in a nutshell. And I'm sure that, you know, you'll have plenty of people that will help you out with coordinating all of that. That's that's a lot right there. So do you have any milder things that you plan to discuss or plan to put out there? Because those are heavy hitters.
Those are some heavy hitters. And that's pretty much what I've been focused on, honestly. Just that heavy stuff. Like we just really need it. Like I'm at a different point in my life where I just want to help. I want to speak. I've been quiet for too long. You know, being vulnerable is something I really had to learn how to do. You know, like I said, like I grew up, never seen my dad cry ever. Like my dad was like the man of all men, you know, and I always wanted to mimic him. So like talking to me and being vulnerable to me was a no, you know. So milder things, no, honestly, I'm 33, you know, I want to get married and have some kids, you know. And you know, hopefully plant a seed that I can leave in this world. And you know, that's not something I'm really looking to do, but that's something I want to do, you know.
Eventually, when you're ready.
Eventually. So other than me, you know, being an advocate for men's mental health and sickle cell, that's pretty much it, to be honest. Other than that, I could live a boring life. I go to work and go home, you know. I'm a father figure to my two nephews. I call them my sons as well. Me and my brother and my father. You know, I have a beautiful niece. She's autistic. They tried to say she was nonverbal. She cannot shut up now. Oh my gosh! And she's such the nicest little girl ever. So other than that, yeah, I'm a real big family guy. Honestly, you know, I'm a real big family guy. Big family orientated. We grew up family orientated, you know, the family reunions and stuff like that, the family reunions and all that. Like we all just grew up. That was just something that was in us. Brantley's, the Williams thing, family orientated. That was just something that was in us. So yeah. Other than that, like I'm just a normal guy. Other than that, yeah. We could talk about grief if you like to, because this is something I had to talk about and get off my chest for a long time as well. And it didn't take me till therapy to really bring it up. 2012, I was dating a girl younger than me, not too younger, maybe 2-3 years younger than me. And this was like my first time really like telling myself I love a girl. You know, she met my parents, I met her parents, spent a night, everything like that. And she was big on college. And she got one day, I remember like yesterday, we went out to eat, had a nice night. I dropped her off at home, went inside. Her mom was like, "You got your letter from BSU." And that's the school she wanted to go to. And she was like, "Oh." I knew once she got that letter, she was out. And from there, like my world, I'm not gonna lie, it turned upside down. And she left, you know. And I didn't take that too well or too lightly. You know, I thought about everything the wrong way. You know, I broke up with her. I was a young kid at that time. Long story short, I just never got over it. You know, like I didn't date for a long time because I didn't want my loved ones to leave me. And that impacted my dating life for a very long time, you know. So I'm 33 years old. Like I said, it's been years and years now, 10 plus years. And that's something most men would be like, or females, oh, you should have been out over that. But like I said, that was like my first, you know, and still to this day, me and her are real cool friends. You know, we don't talk a whole lot or as much as each other as much, but when we do see each other, it's love. But that's something I really had to get over. That's somebody I really loved, and they got up and left for all the right reasons, you know. But I just being a young kid and not really experiencing love, I took it all the wrong way. So that's my grief. That was my
that's
grief.
Huge.
Yeah, that was my grief, you know. And like I said, it just impacted my daily life for a very long time. I didn't trust nobody. I didn't want to be close to nobody because of my fear of people, me loving you, and then you leaving me, you know. So,
I mean, what you're saying is so true, and wow, that's all. It's awesome that you brought it up, mainly because it's factual. Okay, you were with someone, you had some very deep feelings for that person. They left for legitimate reasons, but they left, and that put a fear in you to give your heart again for fear of getting hurt again. And that's exactly what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
What I'm going through right now. And it doesn't matter that he didn't leave with the opportunity to or possibility to come back. He's gone. He's gone. Yeah. And for a completely legitimate reason. And there's that fear. Oh my God, I'm so glad that you brought that up, because that's a truth. We are so scared to put ourselves back out there for fear of losing again, for fear of being hurt again. Wow, that's so awesome.
And to me, like, this girl was like the most perfect girl in the world. Like I said, it impacted my dating life because I used to always look at girls like, well, she wouldn't do that. She don't dress like that. She don't talk like that. No, it's not gonna happen. And for years, for so many years, I like
everybody's compared to her.
She don't even know if she seen it right now. She'd be like, but seriously, like because that's like, she don't know. She really left a stain like on my heart, and not in a bad way, you know, like you know. But seriously, like, I used to always like, no, she don't do that. She don't dress like that. She don't talk like that. She don't party. She don't do this. No, I'm not doing it. So. Yeah, you know, that was a real thing. That was a real thing. And I finally talked about it for the first time when I went to therapy last year. Yep. You know, my mom used to always tell me, you're looking at it the wrong way. She's going out to better her life for you too, and this and that. I don't want to hear that. I'm in love with somebody. I want to hear me now, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm probably still that type of guy. It's like, I want my, you know, not territorial, but love language, they say, like affectionate, you know. And that's how I was. Like, we were really close people, you know. And just to go from that to now what?
Yep.
Now what?
Yep. I mentioned yesterday on live, I said, you know, I wake up in the morning and I throw my leg over there and there's nothing there. And then I roll over and I look and there's no, so yeah. Yeah, you're so used to everything being a certain way, and then all of a sudden it's not anymore. Now what?
Yeah.
Now what? Yeah.
Yep. That's tough for a lot of people. So that was definitely tough for me. And so yeah.
So it took you, in essence, 10-ish years.
Yeah. We were dating from, I want to say, we were really close friends from 2008 until, I want to say, about 2011. We started to, like, you know, do the boyfriend and girlfriend thing until 2012. That's when she left. So yeah, from 2012 now it's 2024 for years, so 10 plus years, about, if that's 12 years, yeah. Yep.
I think that's important to say because people don't realize, if they're not affected by the loss, they're prone to try to help you hurry up and get over it. They're prone to try to say, oh, well, she's doing it to better herself and everything, so you need to move on with your life. Or, oh, well, you know, there's so many people out here that you could, they're so prone to try to help you hurry up and get over stuff. But it's not on their time. It's on your time. And the only way that you're going to be able to heal correctly is for you to go through the grieving process. And the grieving process is no joke. It can take a lot longer than you anticipate. I gave myself 1 year to grieve the loss of Noah, and I'm coming up on my 1 year anniversary. And now I'm like all up in arms because I'm like, oh my God, I need to be done. I need to be ready to move on. I need to be, why am I still crying? Why am I still, freaking out? Why am I still looking for his foot in the morning? Why am I still looking to touch his foot in the morning? But just because I put the timetable on me doesn't mean my grief is right. Cooperating with me.
That's right.
It's just,
yeah. And I don't want to sound selfish. She was hurt by this too. Like I said, she was a younger girl. As far as I know, I was her first, like really, major love as well. So she went through a lot too. So I don't want to make it seem like it was just me, but she's gone through a lot of hurt as well over the years, with me and her, because like I said, we were also friends as well. So she endured a lot of hurt and grief as well. So yeah, grief. Yep.
Yeah. So you went to therapy and you were able to start sharing it through therapy and realizing, hey, I am going through grief. What is something that you would say to our friends that are listening to help them to, first of all, recognize that you are going through grief, whether you realize it or not, and then second of all, how to navigate as best as you can so that you are healing and not just covering it up?
People, you got to take the time out to focus on yourself, rest, focus on yourself, get the time needed. You need to focus on yourself and get your life and thoughts together. I push therapy a lot, and not necessarily going to therapy. Somebody that you trust in, a friend, a parent, can be therapeutic. Like I said, me and my mom, we ride and talk about different things, and that's just therapeutic to me. Like I could be mad until she'll be like, "Oh, you ride me to the grocery store," And that little 10-minute ride to the grocery store after when I get out the car, I'm like, oh, I feel a little better, So, just take the time out for yourself. Like I said, I do push therapy a lot. That'll help. You just got to have some positive people in your corner as well. You got to know who's for you, who's not for you. 33 years, I'm still figuring out who's for me, who's not for me. People change every day. People's feelings change every day, so that sometimes can be a difficult task. But once you figure out who's for you, who's not for you, I think that'll help you go navigate through grief and whatever else it is that you're going through that you might find hard in your lifetime, Me personally, I journal a lot. Whenever I'm going through something, I just pick up my phone and just jot down right. And that helps me. Also, like I said, I have somebody that I trust and I confide, and I call my best friend. He has 3 kids and a wife, and I call him. It just seems like he just knows what to say. I swear, So like I said, just confiding in somebody that you trust, somebody that you love deeply, somebody that you can really, really, really pour into without them judging you or being biased. Because my friend, that's one thing he's gonna be is real with me. Like I don't care if I'm gonna tell you, and I never take it personal because he's right. And I do the same to him, and he appreciates it the same way. So yeah, just take the time out for yourself. Go to therapy. Find somebody that you trust to talk to them. Journal if you like. I listen to music a lot as well. I have a driving job. I drive for 10 hours a day, so I have playlists of every genre of music. Sometimes I listen to an audiobook, and that as well. Music can really help you. Yeah. I feel like, music can really, really, really help you, So, those are a few tips.
Yeah. No, I love the way you summarized it. Yeah. I love the way you summarized it. Yep. You explained it all and then you brought it back home. I love that. I love that. Well, do you have anything else that you might want to share?
That's really it. Like I said, this mental health thing and this sickle cell awareness thing, that's like my main focus right now. Like I'm really trying to get that off the roof, especially the sickle cell thing. I have a lady named Tammy Sharif, who's active in the community. She's also works in patient relations at Bay State. African-American lady who's really, really pushing for a sickle cell patient. And she does the most. She is the bomb. Her mom, Mabel Sharif, as well, passed away.
Yeah.
She was a really big community advocate as well for not just Black people, but just sickle cell patients, period. So,
such a wonderful woman. Oh my goodness, so loving. Oh,
I didn't get to meet her. We talked on Facebook a few times, and we talked about meeting, and then next thing you know, it was so like out of nowhere. I'm like, wow, like you know, and
I know I was going through what I was going through with Noah, and then I was like, I mean, you know, you get so caught up in your own little world, and you just don't expect. And it's like I saw it, and I was like, no, wait a minute, what? You know, and then I had to start looking up things, and I was like, oh my God, you know, just wonderful. And it seems like not too long before she passed, she and I had an interaction of some kind. I can't exactly remember, but I do remember it was a very positive interaction. I mean, she was a wonderful woman.
Yeah,
wonderful
that hurt me because we talked on Facebook a few times, and Tammy, the one that connected us with, she was like, I can't wait to meet you as well. She had planned for me to talk at some seminar in April, but we never got to sit and actually talk about it. So so you know, her daughter Tammy, she's so wonderful, and I'm on the Massachusetts Sickle Cell Association board. I'm one of like the speakers. Every time we have a meeting or something like that, or like a seminar, I'm on the board. I'm one of the speakers. And I'll just say this: Tammy was pushing to try to get a sickle cell crisis center open for us, where we can go to. Because what happens is, instead of going to the ER when we have our crisis, we can call our doctor early in the morning and say, I'm having a crisis. I want to come in as an outpatient, and we can receive 8-hour treatment. But what happens is, these places that we go to, they're already occupied by cancer patients or whoever else has to go there. So we'll either have to, they'll say, hey, we don't have any space, gotta go to the ER, which we have to wait countless hours, or we'll just have to wait till tomorrow, whatever the case may be. So she pushed and said, hey, I wanna, can you guys open up a sickle cell center? And they said, yeah. And then they called her back and said, well, we're gonna open up a center, but it's gonna be for the cancer patients. And that was like a big slap in the face. And when she told me that, excuse my language, I was fuming, pissed off. You know, I was like, are you serious? And that was like a big slap in the face to us. And I said, Tammy, after that meeting, we got on the phone. I said, Tammy, whatever you want me to do, I'm with you. Like, let's do this. I don't want to do these little meetings no more. You know, we were talking about how they wanted to have like more family nights for sickle cell patients. I'm like, no, we need to bring more awareness to people who don't know about it. Because my family, my friends know about sickle cell. You go to talk to the nurse. I'm real talkative when I go to the hospital. I talk to these nurses, and they'll tell you, we don't learn about sickle cell in school, maybe for 1 hour, and that's it. So I'm like, you know, these family nights are cool, but we need to really push this awareness to the hospitals and the people who don't know about it, so we can start getting approved for these centers that can help us and stuff like that. And like I said, once I heard that, I'm like, you know what, Tim, whatever you need from me, let's do it. I want to do the big stuff. I don't want to do no more baby stuff. I want to do the big stuff. I want to be in the meetings you are in. Whatever you need me to do, I'm with it. And, you know, she, you know, the power through writing letters and stuff, she took us as a CEO who reads all the letters that people sent to him. So I said, my dad's on the pastors committee.
You know me, I will reach out to whoever I can reach out to. I will, to put my name down, you know?
Yes. And anybody I can get on board with this that can write a letter or whatever the case may be, and come to these sickle cell seminars that we have. They're not the seminars we have. We eat there. We give gift bags there. We associate there, meet new people there, educate there, and everything. So, so that's really what I'm big on right now, which is pushing the sickle cell awareness and the mental health awareness stuff. And that is like I said, that's really what I'm like really, really, really big on right now. Focus on right now. Like that's where all my focus is going to right now. Yeah.
I have a young lady that eventually I would definitely like for you to meet. She started to do a podcast on sickle cell. She has sickle cell also. And she started to do a podcast on it. And then someone told her it didn't feel authentic to them. And so it kind of shut her down. And I said, are you kidding me? There are so many people out here who don't know about it, that your voice, the one that she did was so incredibly cute that, you know, she was showing how she deals with her crisis. And I'm like, all these people who don't know would know.
Right.
So eventually I would definitely like for you to meet up. But yes, there you go right there. There's two people right there.
Yep. Exactly. And yeah, and that's why I push to people now too. Like, when you have kids, ask your partner, do they have the trait, or go get tested for it.
Right.
You know?
But you know what? Before you have the kids, when you're having the conversation of getting serious, hey, what is going on in your life that may affect us as I mean, there's so many instances that I could bring up that I won't, because I'll be telling other people's business. But where conversations should be had, because you have families intermingling with families because conversations aren't had. There's knowledge, but they're not having the conversations.
Exactly.
You have medical conditions. You have all kinds of. One thing I have the utmost respect for Noah is when we first started talking, and then we decided that we were going to move forward and get into a relationship. When we got to that point, he sat me down, he fixed this beautiful dinner, and he sat me down and he said, there's some things I have to tell you. And I mean, he was incredibly vulnerable, and he shared, these things that he felt may or may not affect me, but he felt I needed to know. And I am just so incredibly grateful, that he respected me enough to share these things with me, and so yeah, before when you decide, hey, I kind of like this dude, or hey, this girl is on, we're vibing. Hey, what are your who is your family? What are your medical conditions? What are what's going on? So that you don't chance get it before it gets too far along, because you don't want to be in love with somebody and just say, well, that's how it is, and where the chips may fall.
Well, I know I said I've had issues with dating, but the people I was able to date, I would never talk about having kids with them, because I didn't want to have any kids, because I just could, like, I'm at 30, 28, 29, 30, 33, I can deal with sickle cell now. Like, I'm pain is like my best friend. I can deal with it, but just to watch like my 2-year-old, 3-year-old go through that, I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
Is there a possibility that your children would be born with it?
Well, since I have the full-blown disease, and I got the full-blown disease, say I do have somebody that has a trait, the possibility is bigger. Now, full-blown disease, somebody that doesn't have a trait, it's still a possibility. So either way, it's a possibility. Now, if you have a trait, like I said, of course, it's going to be a bigger possibility, but that's why you need to talk to your partner if you're going to be serious, and tell them, hey, you should probably get tested and see if you have a trait or not.
Right.
And that'll make a big difference.
Right.
And you need to know, if you don't have it, or if you do have it, chances are kids can have, and if not this first one, if we do end up having the second or third, they can still end up getting this disease. So it's important either way,
Right.
And like I said, I don't know the whole percentages, and that's why it's important for people to come out to these seminars that we have, because our doctors are there and they talk about the percentages and how it, they really break it down. So yeah, but it's important either way. Health either way is just. My aunt told me years ago when I was like 25, like, she used to watch us go out, get dressed, and watch these parties, like, oh yeah, whatever y'all do now, yeah, catch up with you when y'all older. And I try to tell my friends now, like, yo, just because 33 is not old, but it's not young either. We still, we can get sick. We got to take care of ourselves, So health, period, mental, physical, just take care of yourself.
Well, I would like to thank Jesse Williams III for coming and sharing with us today. I'd like to thank him for collaborating with me. What is the name of your podcast?
Life as I See It podcast, coming soon. Everything's already set up. We're just, cameras. That's it. Once we get that situated, it's going to be on and rolling. I'm going to be on I'm going to try to get it on every platform possible: YouTube, Facebook, every platform possible. So once I do get it out there, people will know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, once he puts it out there, either we'll have him come back, or I will alert you guys on my podcast that he's up and running.
Or you're gonna come to my podcast.
Oh yeah, I gotta go to his podcast too.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And we'll talk about we'll talk about something.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
You know.
Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing your time with us. And I just want to thank you for your vulnerability, because it takes a lot to share your innards with people. And you did it unapologetically, and I thank you. I thank you.
I thank you for having me. And like I said, it took years for me to get this way. Like I said, I was always raised to be like we don't tell our business.
Right.
Like I said,
that's Black culture.
Yeah, Black culture. And
we don't air our laundry out in the street,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And like I said, I always want to be like my dad, like tough. Like whenever you sad, don't show. Whenever you mad, don't show. Like nobody can figure out. So it took some years for me to get like this. And like I said, if I didn't go to therapy, I don't know what would have happened. What could have exploded in, So yeah. So everybody take care of yourselves. Try to get to therapy. It don't gotta be where it's paying, where you're paying for it, but find somebody that you could talk to on a daily basis. I want to shout out my cousin Glenn. Like we're like brothers. I swear, me and Glenn had 3-hour conversations every week. Literally.
So there go your couch time.
literally, like 3 hours every week. We'll just sometimes he'll call me at 4 a.m. Sometimes it'll be at 5 p.m. Whatever. We just talk about literally everything. Or he'll come get me over. I go get something to eat. So find somebody you guys can confide in and trust, and yeah.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for watching and for listening. And stay tuned for our next episode. I cannot promise. It should be next Saturday. Well, this one actually will be airing next Saturday. So, but just stay tuned. We're hoping that we're giving you some information that you can resonate with and that is helpful to you. That's our main objective. That's my main objective. That's his main objective, to give you information that is helpful on your journey, whatever your journey may be. Thank you. And I look forward to speaking with you again. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with any and everybody that you think it will help, or just share it because you like us. And also leave us a comment. Leave us a comment letting us know that we're on the right track. Leave us a comment letting us know that you enjoyed it. Leave us a comment letting us know that you're interested in talking with me or talking with Jesse. Leave us a comment if there's something that you feel we can be doing different that will help others also. Thank you so much, and I look forward to speaking with you the next time. Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you for having me, Auntie. I appreciate it so much. This is so fun. This is so fun. This is so therapeutic. Like I said, I find therapy in everything, so this is therapeutic as well.
Well, I love that, because you being a young Black man saying that therapy is important is going to resonate and help a lot of younger people. And I'm not saying just the Black people. I think it's going to help a lot of people because it's important. Therapy is important. Getting it off your chest is important. Being able to speak on it is important. Journaling is important. All of it is so important. So I do thank you. And you brought up some very good key points. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, people. Till next time.
Till next time. Bye-bye.